Hi, everybody. Welcome to our annual meeting 2020. Usually we have a dance, a theme like Western or Hawaiian, but clearly this year it's going to be COVID. And so we're doing our annual meeting in a COVID way. And so I hope you're listening with your bubble in a cozy place where you can hear what we've done and listen to our vision for the year, because clearly it's going to be a different year. But we think we are going to have some big wins, and so let's get this party started. First of all, I want to tell you why we have an annual meeting. We've had one ever since we started in 2009, and there's 4 things that we want everyone to cover every year. One is we want you to know our finances and have full disclosure of what we do with the money you receive, and to honor your generosity and partnership. So you're going to hear Eric Gray talk about that. Second, we want to hear from all of you. It's your chance to say what you need and how you want to shape our organization. Normally we're in small groups, but this year we've asked you to fill out a survey, and there'll be a survey after this link that you can click on and you can share your voice. And it probably wouldn't hurt to tell us things you appreciate. We always take that into consideration and brings a smile to our face. And 3, we want you to know what we have done this year and honor your requests and your needs. And we've done a lot. We've done a lot. And I'm going to tell you a little bit, but then later Joy's going to share what we have to offer this year in terms of programming. And we've actually have a lot, even in the land of COVID. And 4, we believe that a big picture and a vision is what is needed for us to do better. It keeps us relevant. It keeps us ahead of the game. And so we want to share with you some of those big ideas. Now, there are several items that you brought up last year of what our needs are and what you wanted to have happen. And so the main one was that you wanted to change how doctors deliver a Down syndrome diagnosis. You want it to be accurate, but with compassion and empathy. And so thanks to Dr. Maduri and Jericho Road, we made a video with 10 points on how to give a Down syndrome diagnosis. And we're sending cards to all the geneticists and all our local hospitals, letting them know that this is a resource for them. And when they get a new family, they could maybe just take a peek to see what it looks like so that they can do better. And if you'd like to have a couple cards to share and distribute, let us know. And we'll send them out to you. We also knew that we wanted to serve a larger community that was not able to physically be on site. And we were working on that to make that happen. But that was all before March. And then we were pushed to pivot really quickly because of COVID. And I cannot thank our team for working so hard and fast and made things happen. They've been awesome. And I don't know if you've tried to move a couch through a door that's a little bit small. You can do it, but not without trying a lot of pivoting, a lot of let's try it this way, let's go this way. That's what this kind of has felt like. Maybe you felt like that just trying to do distance learning, or your job and kids. I think this is the new normal, is trying to learn how to pivot from someplace and do it differently. So the first thing we did is we built up our member portal. So we can thank Will Hoadley Brill. He was awesome. And basically we have a portal that you can go on, families, educators. If you've not checked it out, go there, get a login code, browse away. If there's something you need that you don't see, then let us know. And we'll see how we can support you. I mean, honestly, the good thing about Club 21 is we're connected to lots of teachers, educators, and people that can say, oh, I have this great template. Let me throw it into the member portal. So the second thing about all of this is that we learned how to do Zoom and continued our offerings of classes online. We also put extra activities like a fitness program, a music program, some other supports like Soul Care with Janice Fialka in place on Zoom. And I think there's been some great resources for your kids and families. Now, we've all had in our strategic plan for the last few years a focus on building and supporting a diverse community that helps every family have access and equity. And we knew that not every family had that opportunity due to lack of knowledge, due to the color of their skin. And so that's come to the forefront in this season, and it is really important to us. So we've created a task force that will give input to our board and our staff each month. It's to keep us accountable. It's so that we can keep moving forward, that we can keep doing things differently. And if you're interested in being in that task force, please email us and let us know. The first two things that are important to us is that we need to seek out families. We need to hear your stories. We need to make sure Club 21 is a safe place to hear stories, and in particular, help families of color access the resources that are available. Because clearly, in the system, there is an inequity of resources and information for people of color. It is a documented inequity. And that means we need to partner with all of you in terms of IEP meetings, in terms of regional centers. We need to be more connected, and we need to be able to provide information and partnerships so that we can help everyone be a cultural broker and so that everyone has access. Before I turn this over to Eric and Joy, I want to continue to tell you why you need to be connected. And I've always said that Club 21 is a three-legged stool, and that everyone needs a stool in their house to sit on, to work, maybe to rest. But you really need a stool to kind of climb and get things that you want, that you need, but you cannot reach without that stool. And so the three legs that we have are, one, you need a leg that's a big vision. If you don't have a big vision, you have low expectations. If you need a North Star, and why you do is that when people say, no, I don't think they'll be able to do that. No, I don't have that resource. No, that's not in the IEP. You can think differently. You can say, that road is closed. I will go a different way. It makes you a detective. It makes you work harder. It makes you think out of the box because the vision feels so big. How are we going to do it unless we do things differently? The second leg of that is that you need education and you need to be equipped. You don't know what you don't know. Even in COVID, I just didn't know several things that I didn't know to even ask my regional center worker. And now I want to tell everybody, just by the way, you should do this. I feel like without being equipped, without education, you are completely vulnerable and you're overwhelmed. And every single day at Club 21, we are all about equipping and education. The third leg of the stool is you need community. It's really lonely without support. It can be really isolating. All of us have literally tasted what it feels like in COVID to feel isolated, to feel out of touch, to feel like, I don't know if I'm on the right road. I don't know what day of the week it is. And so honestly, when we pull our parents, what they love as much as they're getting information, the biggest benefit they would say is networking. It would be connecting with other families. It is celebrating every little success with someone else that gets it. It's lifting each other up. And when you have a child with unique needs, such as Down syndrome, you need every cheerleader. You need every friend, every pat on the back that you can find. And that is what we need to keep going. And any one of those three things, if you don't have a vision, if you don't have education, if you don't have community, you are traveling this journey with, I would say, with not all the tools. Your backpack's really going to get tired. Your legs are going to hurt. But I'm also going to change this concept of a three-legged stool to another leg, and that is that it's a four-legged stool. And I think the next leg is technology. We've seen here that we need to know technology. We need to learn how to navigate it. We need to learn to access it. We need to make sure everyone that has a child with Down syndrome has access, has those tools, can do that. And I believe it's technology that's going to help our kids in ways we never dreamed. from meeting new friends from across the country to reading or to writing to listening books. There will be some big wins if we learn this technology. And it will open doors. Technology will open doors for our kids long term more than anything else. So as much as I hate this isolation, and I hate it, I do believe if we lean in, something good will happen. If we could lean in together, we can still stay connected. And I just want to remind you that our kids with Down syndrome are lifelong learners. People don't tell you that all the time, but they are. Please don't forget that. Yes, they will miss things this year. That is true. But they will learn them later. And if we become gentle with ourselves and learn technology, persevere, stay connected with each other in classes, stay connected in other ways, we'll persevere. So, welcome to our annual meeting. Let's listen to Eric and Joy and Kim, and it's going to be a good year if we all stay together. Thanks so much.
Hi everyone, I'm Eric. I'm a member of the Club 21 Board of Directors, and I'm here to talk a little bit about our financial outlook for the organization. We just concluded our 2020 fiscal year on June 30th, and as I'm sure you can appreciate, it was a very unusual year for all of us and for the organization as well. Back in March, we had to sort of abandon all of our live services and begin remote and virtual programming. We had to cancel our spring gala for the second time in a row, which was unfortunate. Just a handful of things that in many years would have put quite a financial pressure on the organization. But thankfully, we're a resilient group. We always have been. Things have always managed to work themselves out for us financially, and this year is no different. We're very happy to say that we've continued to operate at a full staffing capacity despite the COVID crisis. We've maintained our entire workforce at full-time levels, which we're very, very happy about. And we've managed to continue to invest in most of our key programs. A lot of these investments took place earlier in the year, in the fall, but whether it was Club Connections or Club Fun or Stepping Up or Every Child a Reader, First Steps, our educational partnerships programs, we put more money into those programs in 2020 than we have in any year prior, and we're proud of that. That's a major objective for the board and for the staff to continue investing in these programs. We feel like we've been able to do that this year, and despite all that, despite the investments, despite the absence of a gala, we've actually managed to increase our operating reserves in 2020, which is something we're tremendously proud of, and again, speaks to the resiliency of the organization. It wasn't without some good fortune, no question. I mean, the truth is that back in December, we received a $100,000 grant from an anonymous donor that was, obviously an absolute gift from above. And without that grant, this would be a very different story that we were telling. We also were opportunistic, and we did capitalize on the government grant program associated with COVID so that we could continue to payroll our staff at full-time levels. And so we received a grant from the PPP program that helped an awful lot as well. So all those things contributed to us increasing our operating reserves in fiscal 2020, and we end the year with very close to 12 months of operating reserves on hand, which is more than sufficient for any organization our size. It's something that we feel very comfortable with. And frankly, it's something we're going to need because fiscal 2021, which began on July 1st, is certainly going to be a challenge of its own. We don't expect to have a repeat of the $100,000 anonymous donation. We don't expect to have a repeat of the PPP program. So that's, almost 20%, a little more than 20% of the income we generated in 2020 that will not repeat in 2021. So we'll have our work cut out for us. Our walk, which is our single biggest source of fundraising every year, is going to be virtual. We don't quite know what that's going to look or feel like, or how it's going to affect our fundraising. So there's a very good chance that 2021 will not generate any incremental surplus for the organization. And in fact, we will start to eat into those operating reserves. But as I mentioned earlier, we feel like we have got an absolutely sufficient level of reserve to weather a rainy day like this, and so we expect that we'll be just fine come the end of 2021 and hopefully the resumption of normal levels of activity. But anything that anyone affiliated with our organization can do to help in 2021 will certainly be appreciated. We definitely need our walk, as virtual as it may be as successful as possible. It's still going to be our single largest source of fundraising for the year, and if we can keep that level of fundraising at our kind of recent historical levels, then that would be a really good thing for us. If the walk income falls off a cliff, it's going to be a big problem, and it's going to mean we're eating even further into our reserves than we hope to. Again, not anything we can't withstand, but something we certainly would prefer not to do. So, I think this is basically a very guarded, optimistic report. We're very happy with how fiscal 2020 came out. We're very happy that we were able to add to the reserves, and we know that we're going to need them going forward. We know we're going to need them in 2021 in particular, and we hope that you guys can all help us need those reserves as little as possible. So I think that as I've been talking, I'm hoping that Will has been sharing some slides that we prepared just to show kind of some trends, but you will see that in 2020, we generated over $800,000 in revenue, which is just remarkable. And I think that is our single highest year of income ever in the history of Club 21. So it's been a tremendous story, a tremendous year. Despite all the challenges, we're in really good shape. And we thank you all for your support. And we thank you for helping us navigate this crazy territory. Feel free to reach out with questions at any time by email or phone, or Nancy or myself, anyone. We'd love to talk. And again, we thank you for all your help. Bye-bye.
Hi, Club 21 families. My name is Joy Domingo, and I am the program director. I just wanted to take a quick minute to talk to you about our programs. For many of you, maybe you've been enrolled in some and have aged out and are moving on to another. For some of you, maybe you've heard about Club 21, but have yet to come visit us. First off, I just want to say we are there with you during this pandemic. We are there with you and for you, knowing how difficult life is right now for all of us. It is not ideal for us to be doing things virtually, especially for our kids who really feed off of that peer partnership that they get. They're social beings and they want to be together. We know that you're missing the community of being part of Club 21. We are too. That is the best part of my job is getting to know you as families, getting to know and work with your kids. I desperately miss being with all of you. And so just understand that as I tell you about our programs, I also am carrying the same weight that you have at home, trying to decide what to do with your kids, how to get involved at Club 21 with everything that you also have on your plate, whether you work, whether you have siblings at home, whether you're doing therapies. We completely understand all that you have on your plate, and we're here to help support you and your entire family. So I just wanted to real quick tell you what programs we have available to you. For those of you that have children that are birth to 3 years old, we do have our First Steps program. If you haven't attended already and you want to get connected with families who have children who are similar age, I would highly encourage you to reach out to Pam Grassadonio, who is our First Steps coordinator. She is always available for your questions, for your concerns, for needing advice, for just needing a listening ear. Her and Monica Borges do our Friday First Steps, which is from 9:30 to 11:30, typically when we're able to meet in person. Obviously, that's not happening right now during quarantine. But I would encourage you to still get connected. If you have a student that is birth to 3 years old and would love some additional advice or just additional community, it's a great group. I know a lot of our families who started in First Steps and now have students who are in elementary school, middle school, who just said that that time in their life was just so precious and being able to be involved in that. You can email Pam at club21.org. And also all of this information that I'll be sharing with you today is also found on our website. So feel free to peruse that. There's a plethora of information about all that we are able to offer to you on our website. For those of you who then have, starting with 18 months through early elementary, we have a great program called Stepping Up. This is a program that has been created and written by our very own Kristen Enriquez, who runs the parent lecture piece. It's a program that we're very, very proud of. How this program typically works is we meet second Saturdays, running from August through May. And when you come, you would come and drop your child off in the classroom with a classroom teacher, an occupational therapist, and a speech therapist. And your child will be in a classroom having their own classroom time while you get to go and have a parent lecture with Kristen. Each month it's a different topic based on a variety of things that your student is going to be introduced to wherever they are in their school education. And so for the 18-month to 3 years, we have our early intervention class. This is such an important class because what we hear a lot at Club 21 is parents just don't know what they don't know, which is totally true. And so this class is specific for those families who are moving out of a regional center into a school district, possibly starting preschool, and all of the transitions that come along with that. Knowing how to do that first IEP, goal setting, learning what your learning profile is for your child. We then move on to our preschool class for those students who are in preschool. Then we have our kindergarten level, which is for transitional kindergarten as well as kindergarten. And then finally, our fourth level is early elementary, which is typically first and second grade. Now we can't meet in person right now. So what our virtual offerings are going to be for Stepping Up are parents will still meet once a month for their parent lecture with Kristen. You will be emailed your materials, and all of your PowerPoints and any additional materials will get sent to you electronically. And then you'll meet via Zoom with Kristen and your whole class to get your monthly topic, which we finished this way and it worked really well. So I would really encourage you to sign up for that. For your student, when you enroll, we're going to offer 2 monthly group times, kind of like a circle time idea of where we would have some singing, some story time, just some interaction for the students to see each other. We know they really love seeing their friends. And then one time a month, it will be more of an OT speech focus on that. So that is for our Stepping Up program. That program also, if you go to our website, has all of the virtual offerings as well as the cost and the registration. If you have a child who is between the years of 8 and 12 years old, we then offer our Club Fun. This is a social skills group that is based upon Michelle Garcia Winner's social thinking curriculum. We've been doing this for many, many years now, and the program has also kind of molded into what we have seen works best for our students with Down syndrome. So how this works is when you enroll for the first year, your child is brand new to Club Fun, you will meet one-on-one with a speech therapist for an intensive into the first 5 social thinking concepts. And obviously, having social skills, there is a verbal part of that. And so that's where the speech therapists really are so helpful for that first year, introducing the language, introducing the concepts, introducing activities that support these concepts. And so for your first year enrolled in Club Fun, you get a 30-minute one-on-one with a speech therapist. This happens the same in person, or it will be the same for virtually. Each month, you will also be receiving monthly curriculum materials to help support whatever the concept is that we're working on that particular month. And while we are virtual, that will get mailed home to you. When we're able to meet in person, you will then just come pick up the materials when you come to have your class. Now, after you do your year of intensives, you then get to do a deeper dive into those first 5 concepts. And that is in a larger group. When I say large, it's about 4 to 6 kids that are in a classroom with myself, Audrey Gray, and then 2 speech therapists who, again, are just so important in helping our kids get that language to be able to communicate with each other. How this is going to work virtually is we're going to be having twice a month sessions with the students that are enrolled. Each session will be about 30 to 45 minutes, where we'll be introducing the concepts, having some fun activities to help practice the concepts, and then you as well will be receiving monthly materials. For those who are in their second year, so after they've had their intensives and now they're getting their first curriculum, actual curriculum books that go along with each concept. Again, all this information is on our website, so I encourage you to, if you need a deeper look, to go and check out if Club Fun is a great fit for your student. So after Club Fun, we have Crew, and Crew is for our middle schoolers, and I get to be involved in this class along with 2 of our teachers, Jessica Bolgen and Jennifer Murphy. And I have to tell you, this class is so much fun. I know many of us shy away from anything that has to do with middle school, but I have to say, these kids have a lot of fun together. Typically, we meet once a month on second Saturday for an hour and a half with your students, and then the parents get to meet quarterly, kind of just for a Q&A, how are things going, letting you know what we're working on, and just any specific needs that you're having with your student at that time. So for virtually, how we're going to be offering this is our students are going to meet twice a month for about 45 minutes with the classroom teachers, and we'll be going over the different concepts that we're dealing with. They really build off of the 10 social thinking concepts that our students learn in Club Fun and help support that in more of a middle school atmosphere. We play games together. We have a time of sharing for the students. We ended the year virtually with Crew, and I have to say I was so impressed with how well our kids transitioned to doing virtual. And so I know that the virtual option is not the best for all of our kids. I understand that the last thing some of our students want to do is get on another Zoom call. But I would really encourage you to not let that hold you back from signing up, because we have an understanding of that our kids have been zoomed out, so to say, and really try to make everything fun and exciting and really move in a way that keeps them engaged. And so Crew is also, all of our virtual offerings are on our website, so take a look at that. And if you have a middle schooler, this class is actually getting close to being able to be capped with as many students as we can get. So I wouldn't waste an opportunity if you have a middle schooler to enroll now. For those of you who have students preschool through high school, we have our educational partnership program. How this program works is typically when a parent registers, they also register their child's teacher. The parent gets to come to Club 21 4 evenings a year for a topical lecture, and then it's for 2 hours. The first hour is a lecture, and then the second hour is parents are broken out into their facilitated groups based on where their children are in school. And that's a time to do a deeper dive into what's happening in school for your kids, areas of need, areas of success, and those are all led by a facilitator who specializes in that specific age group of where your kids are in school. In addition to your registration and the parents coming to us, the teachers get to come for 4 all-day trainings at Club 21. This has been invaluable. This program is something that we are very proud of. Club 21 is able to offer substitute fees to allow teachers to take days off of work to come get training. Now, how is that going to happen when school is virtual and we're virtual? We have thought long and hard about the best way to get our teachers the same information and new and updated information as well when we have to be virtual. And this is what we have created. So we have created an education portal. So all registered teachers will be able to access this portal. And in this portal will be articles, resources, as well as monthly webinars and lectures. So each month a new topic will be uploaded onto this education portal, and that your teachers will be able to access. We understand all that teachers are being asked of. Most people that went into the teaching career did not sign up to do this virtually, and so we understand what is on their plate. We also understand even when we weren't virtual, it was very hard for teachers to be given the time off to come and get a training. Even as valuable it is, and as much as they would get out of it, a lot of times they just couldn't get released from their job to be able to come get training. The great thing about this portal is it allows our teachers to, when they have the time and at their convenience, to be able to watch a webinar about the learning profile, about universal design for learning, growth mindset, what the 5 essential tools you should have in your toolbox, modification, the history of disability education, and many, many more topics that we're going to have. So each month a new seminar will be put up on this educational portal. This will also be accessible to our parents who are enrolled. So you will really be able to see what the training is that your teachers are getting. For example, if you're having a situation in your classroom or with your classroom teacher about something that's happening with your child, and you can say, well, you know what, that sounds like a working memory issue. And your teacher may respond with, I don't know what working memory is. And it's like, you know what? That there's a whole webinar on the educational portal that talks about working memory. And so you'll be able to know what the teachers are getting and really help bridge that relationship and that partnership that you'll have with your teacher. This is a vendored program, and so we've been very successful in having regional centers pay for this. All of this information is on our website, including a video about our education portal. So I would really encourage you, especially at this time when we know school is going to be really tricky and so different from anything we've ever done. I know that when we ended the year last year, it was all survival mode. We were all thrown into the deep end. Teachers didn't know what they were doing. Parents didn't know how to be at home and to be a teacher. And many of us work. And so we have students at home that are needing to be on Zooms or needing help with homework, while parents are having to keep their own jobs and by working remotely. So we totally understand it, but we're really excited about what we were able to offer this year as part of this program. So I really wouldn't hesitate to sign up. And I understand that many of you may not know who your teacher is. I don't know who my kids' teachers are yet, so I'm right there with you. But that doesn't need to stop you from signing up. And we understand that there's not really a relationship between you and your child's teacher yet. And that is okay, because really what we're wanting to offer is the education of how to provide a successful classroom for all the students in your child's class, not just them. So I would really encourage you to sign up for Educational Partnership today. If you have a student who is high school or beyond, we have Club Connections for you. And Club Connections really focuses on learning and building and maintaining the skills needed for independent living, work, and socialization. Students will develop social skills needed to initiate and maintain relationships with family and friends and acquaintances. The Club Connections team will center on skills such as perspective taking and problem solving, conflict resolution, and self-regulation. They will do this through interactions with each other, with role playing, with games, and other activities. Club Connection utilizes resources such as the social thinking curriculum. They also utilize everyday speech, and we partner with Center for Independent Living. Or Center for Independent Futures. And Center for Independent Living is launching a very new feature this fall that will really target individuals' hopes and their dreams in order to help Club Connections better identify goals for the students and kind of an action plan that they can devise to get those students to experience those goals. This interactive evaluation produces a roadmap of skills to independent living and to help develop and support for a full independent life. The goal for the students in Club Connections is to become an active member of their community and to develop a lifelong circle of support. Now, something different that we're doing this year with Club Connections is we are splitting our high schoolers and then those beyond. So if you have a high schooler, they'll still be enrolled in Club Connections, but they will be in the high school group. And then for those who are beyond high school, there will be a separate group for them. Virtually, how they're going to be meeting is the parents will their child will get a seat on the Center for Independent Futures classroom, which will provide homework and assessments for to work on with your child at home. They will be meeting twice a month with their class and their peers for, again, games, activities, goal setting, and just that social piece that is so desperately wanted and needed in our students. Again, Club Connections is all on our website, so if you have further questions, you can go there. For any questions that you have about any of our programs, you can contact me at programs, programs, at club21.org, and the 21 is all spelled out with letters. And I'm happy to answer your questions about specific programs or specific needs that you're having for your family. Again, I just want to let you know that we're in this together. Together really is better. We would prefer to be together. But I just want to let you know that our Club 21 team is working really hard to make sure that we can continue to be there in the ways that we could be in person. It's not ideal. It's not even a preference of ours. But I will say that we have really come to see some really great things come out of having to be virtual. Our member portal was launched this summer. We had a bunch of really fun summer classes that were offered through Zoom. And I think that we're going to continue to see some new and exciting things come out of being virtual. Now, I get it. I'm with you. I have 3 kids at home that are doing school virtually. I'm working for Club 21, and the last thing I want to do is get on another Zoom call or watch another webinar. But this is what I will tell you. In those times when I felt tired and when I haven't wanted to get on, I haven't left one of those regretting spending my time in that way. I've loved being able to connect with our families. I've loved seeing your kids on these Zoom calls. I've loved seeing even the growth that can happen virtually. So I know it's not ideal. I know it's not our preference. I know we're tired and we're overwhelmed, and we're just, for many of us, just barely surviving. And so I want to just say that we are here for you, and that you can find still community and support and even social interactions through virtual platforms. So I would encourage you to sign up today for any of our programs. And again, if you have any questions, please do not hesitate to call. Hey Club 21 families. It's Joy Domingo again with some really exciting news. As I've mentioned, Club 21 staff are always hard at work for all of you families, and we received some really amazing news this week. We had sent in proposals to Lannerman, who is the regional center that Club 21 is vendored through, to get Stepping Up, Club Fun, Crew, and Club Connections vendored. And we found out this week that we got approved for all four. I'm so excited. This is not just huge for Club 21, it's huge for all of you families. And so what does that mean for you? It now means that if you want to enroll in any of these programs, you now just go to our registration page. There will be an option now on the registration stating that you will be requesting your regional center to fund this, and we'll give you a pay later option. Also included on our website will be flyers that you can download with all of the vendor code and information that your service coordinator will need in order to put in a request for funding, including my information as well, because I do a lot of emailing back and forth, answering questions, fielding questions about specific programs with service coordinators. And so any questions that your service coordinators have, please send them our way. We are so excited for what this means for all of our families. For those of you who are already registered in a program and have paid, you will be receiving an email from me, if you already haven't, stating that we will be, if you do want to go ahead and request your regional center to fund your program, upon approval of that request, we will then refund you all money that has been paid to Club 21 up to that point will be reimbursed to you. So again, this is just amazing, exciting news. We're so excited. We're so proud. We're so thankful and grateful. And so now more than ever is the time to get online and register for those classes.
Hi everyone, my name is Kim Whitney. I am the event coordinator for the 13th annual Together is Better Walk, which is just around the corner, Saturday, October 17th. In light of the pandemic, unfortunately, we will not be able to walk together in person, but we will still celebrate together in spirit. Since our walk is going virtual this year, teams will be able to create their own walk their own way, and teams can start recruiting friends and family who may not necessarily live in the area. So folks who have not had the opportunity to join in on the fun of our walks, this is a good time to invite them. The day will begin with a virtual kickoff, and we'll have all kinds of fun activities and challenges scheduled along the way. Our Together is Better Walk is our biggest fundraiser for our programs. Every year our teams have supported so many of our great programs like First Steps, Club Fun, our speaker series, to name a few. As you've heard today, in light of the pandemic, we've had to move all of our programming online, which means we need the support of our families and teams at the annual walk now more than ever. Registration for the walk is open, so make sure you head over to our website so that you can register today. And again, like I said, I encourage you, invite your friends and family who don't necessarily live close by, and invite them to join in on the fun. It's going to be an awesome day. Thank you all so much for tuning into our annual meeting. Although we're starting off slightly different this year, it's still going to be an awesome year. Take care.
Hi guys, thank you so much for listening to all of us, and I think you probably heard some new information, and you probably heard how much we need each other. And so I just want to tell you that if there ever was a year that we need one another, it's this year. And so I hope you have a good evening. I hope you stay connected. I hope you register for some classes. And I hope you literally create a team and create a walk. And I think you will be surprised how many people will come alongside you and help us make this a really good year. Help us create programs for you. Help us make this an equitable community for all. Help us help you. So the other part is, if you know people that've never come, they don't really know what it's missing. It's like they don't know what the taste of pistachio ice cream is until you've tasted pistachio. So tell others, tell your family. If you have a need, if you have a financial need, if you have some ideas, if you have some skills, reach out to us. It's going to be a good year. I'm not saying an easy year, but it's going to be a good year. And we are going to document every win. Have a good night, you guys. Thanks so much. Bye.